took most of that, left him with $13. He then used that $13 to buy him that yo-yo he was talking about, which is when you start realizing, you know what, Dexter, you might not be that great of a guy because you're this other guy is real sweet.
Yeah,
and
you're stealing from him and he's still buying you gifts.
Yeah, and your little crush there doesn't like you anymore because she found a contract in your weird, giant yellow raincoat that you shouldn't be wearing because it's the middle of summer. But whatever, he looks good in yellow, I guess.
Yeah, he did.
So they break out of this by doing this weird, funky dance.
Basically, long story short, Linda Cardellini is there for a little exposition so that she can explain some of the things that are going on in the insane asylum, and then how this is some double pane bulletproof glass and they can't escape, except it's pretty easy to do. All they have to do is jump through that window. It's not that bulletproof. It's not even Keenan proof.
No.
And so it's not even Abe Vigoda proof. He's also managed to get there.
Yes, we left that part out. Because he witnessed the Mondo Burger.
Because Mondo Burger decided they were going to poison the sauce while they were locked up and sabotage Good Burger. Abe Vigoda caught them because for some inexplicable reason he sleeps in the restaurant. And so they got him locked up as well. Also unexplained. The three of them escape. They leave Linda Cardellini behind because, you know, she was only available for one day of shooting, I guess.
I would have loved to see her, like, make it to the end.
Me too, actually. But she didn't. And so they make it back in time to sabotage Mondo Burger by adding... They wanted to originally find that growth serum that they were using and bring it to the police.
Yeah.
But again, Eddie's such a goddamn dummy that he just pours it all into their beef, and the burgers expand to such a massive size that they explode and destroy the restaurant.
Turns into a disaster movie.
Huge disaster. The police show up and immediately arrest the owners and operators of Mondo Burger without any explanation until Ed and Dexter can blame these handcuffed owners for all the trouble that has happened and say that it's because of this expanding beef formula that they use. The police go, "Oh, is that true?" Even though they're already under arrest, I don't understand why they now have a reason to arrest them. And they go, "Oh, well then, this is serious, sir, than I thought. You're going in the cop car." The end, happy ending.
Basically, it ended... everything got wrapped up in a pretty tight, nice little package there because that building's gone.
Yeah.
And it's true because they got arrested for no reason.
It was not explained. Their business blew up. The police showed up, arrested the owners of the business.
Yeah. And that is that's not how it would work.
No, obviously not.
No. But they even seem like these canisters doesn't really seem like they're a real thing. This cop just took it at their word. And it's like, well, we're adding this to the charge too. It's like kind of like it's something that's going on in this town. Everyone's growing their beef with these illegal substances. I don't know. So this guy's name, he was Kurt, I think.
The bad guy,
character.
yeah.
What ridiculous.
Who cares?
We also see one of our last hurrahs of Sinbad. He gets a whole burger that destroys his car again.
That's right. The burger delivery vehicle. Or no, was it it was the insane asylum chasing after the escapees.
Oh, well, that
ended up destroying his second mailbox of the movie. He finally puts out this nice new mailbox. He seems very proud of it. Just the way he was acting, looking at that mailbox, had the second biggest laugh of the movie for me. And then it gets destroyed. And I'm thinking, why is Sinbad constantly having bad luck? Poor guy. He's just a school teacher who means well. And just gets no luck.
And you were saying before how he was a pretty nice guy.
For letting Keenan off the hook, saying, "Okay, I'm not going to call the cops. I'm not going to press charges. I'm just going to let you pay this off. If you could pay it off, it's not a problem."
Yeah.
That's super reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, it was all Dexter's fault.
Yeah.
That he is put in this position. Yeah, your summer's ruined, but it's your fault.
Exactly.
Sometimes Sinbad would mess it up a little bit. Not mess it up, but he would...
Sinbad might ruin Arnold Schwarzenegger's day in Jingle All the Way, right? Sinbad might ruin Phil Hartman's day in House Pest. But Sinbad did not ruin anything for anyone in this movie. He was a good guy.
He was.
Who got a raw deal countless times.
And House
Probably
Pest,
4.
Yeah. House Pest would have been a really good name for that movie. It was House Guest.
House Guest.
But why not House Pest?
Oh, he basically was a pest, yeah.
Yeah. Tagline could have been "There's a pest in the nest" or something weird.
Ooh,
maybe they were saving pests so they could use it later.
That was the sequel.
Pest in the nest. So overall, Sebastian, there's little things about this movie that I want to say. I'm pretty sure.
What do you have in your notes, Matthew? Let's get to these notes.
Let me just get through. One of the things I really enjoyed of Sinbad is when he came in to check up on how Dexter was doing with the money.
Sure. Was progress.
Kind of rubbing in his face.
Yeah.
And then he was going to Mondo Burger, home of the Big Booty Burger.
That's right.
This is not advertised anywhere in Mondo Burger. This is something that Sinbad...
That was definitely a Sinbad improv.
Yeah, and he loves these burgers. The Big Booty Burger.
Well, he hasn't mentioned it before in the movie. This is the first time, but this burger's the talk of the town. Everyone's going there. They had a huge grand opening.
Oh, yeah.
And Sinbad, he's excited about getting this Big Booty Burger. It is a big burger. So he just threw in the word booty. Why not?
Yeah.
Sinbad likes a big booty, likes a big burger, Big Booty Burger.
And, there were other stars in this thing. You had the Hoopster Shack. As
would advertise on the back of the Shaq is there for some inexplicable reason.
Well, he was hungry right after the game.
That's right.
And they drove right into the stadium, right into pretty much the dressing room.
They drove right up to the dressing room and gave Shaq a burger because he had ordered it and was a delivery. And they jumped with Shaq and they were very happy to meet him. He enjoyed the burger. He said it was good.
Yeah.
And speak more highly of it than good, but...
Well, Ed had to pull 2 tomatoes out of his pocket.
That's true.
And add it to the burger, and Shaq was okay with that.
It was like, I asked for tomatoes. And then, got your tomatoes right here. And then he put them on the burger. Good.
Well, he was like...
Good.
Oh, man. Basically, to sum it up, I think Ed is the Rain Man of burger sauce, I believe.
Wow, yeah. No, totally.
Because
Ed's a complete goddamn idiot, but he pulls it out in the end through some freakish skill that makes no sense. Because we even watch him making it, and it looks like he has no goddamn clue what he's doing.
He's throwing things in.
He's just throwing whole pickles in there, and he's putting all kinds of baking powder in there. It just seems like it should not work.
I believe I think the FDA needs to know what the ingredients are.
There was some powdered milk.
Yeah, he's got to disclose some of the all of the ingredients. It doesn't have to, that it needs to be made public, just a little bit what he's putting in, because I'm not going to trust this idiot.
Well, do we know the secret recipe of Coca-Cola or
no? But it's also not being
KFC
made by morons.
Their secret whatever you call it.
If Ed is making
McDonald's Big Mac sauce, these are all trade secrets, and I feel like Ed's sauce at Good Burger is a trade secret.
But if you ever saw Ed making any of these things,
oh, you'd be very concerned.
I would not want to put that in my body.
No.
So overall, Sebastian, Good Burger. What do you think?
It's tough because the movie's heart is in the right place, and I'm not the audience for this movie. Mind you, I may have been when it was released nearly 20 years ago. I would have been, I guess, 11 when it was released, 10 or 11. And even then, I think it would have been a very forgettable movie that I wouldn't have enjoyed that much. If I can project myself as an 11-year-old, I'd probably give this movie, I was very generous back then, I'd probably give this movie a 6.
Oh, okay.
Which still doesn't get up to our 7 being good.
Yeah.
It's halfway between fine and good. It's pretty good. It's all right. But as an adult, who has studied film, studied writing, who watched this movie with hindsight, and I'd never seen the movie before, but I was vaguely familiar with the idea. Really vaguely. Because I may not have agreed to it otherwise. I can't, in good consciousness, give this movie more than a 2.5 on 10.
That's probably one of the worst ratings. Belle Province may have gotten a worse one.
I think they may have gotten a 3. They probably scored better.
Okay.
Good burger. Not a good burger. Maybe a good burger. Didn't get to eat it. It looked all right, I guess. Definitely not a good movie.
No. So I can't agree with your rating. Well, I don't have to agree with your rating. It's your rating. That's and right. I agree that is probably the rating that you should give it. Because I didn't know if we would make it through the film while I was watching it with you.
I thought I disliked it so much that I would say just turn it off. Forget this.
Yeah,
I'm pretty forgiving in that way. I can waste time.
Okay, well, I'm surprised you didn't start pulling out your phone and doing other things. You actually gave this movie your full attention.
I was engaged. I only stopped maybe once or I only stopped twice to check IMDb to see one, if that was indeed Carmen Electra, and two, to see how high in the cast Linda Cardellini was. And she was in top billed cast. She was in the opening credits, but I didn't understand how an hour into this movie, how I had not recognized her yet. I was thinking maybe she has blonde hair in this movie and she's one of these other characters or something. No, she's got an amazing agent because this was one of her first roles, her first film role, and she was in the top billed cast. She was in the opening credits right before with Sinbad.
Yeah.
Right up there with the television and film legend Abe Vigoda.
Oh, man. I agree with you that the film had heart. Or it tried to have heart.
It tried to.
It had too many callbacks to a show that, to All That, which was the sketch comedy show.
From which this movie was spawned.
Yeah, and then there was also the Keenan and Kel show, and they just kind of mixed a lot of different little catchphrases and humor in, and it is lost in today's world because nobody.
How are you familiar with this show? You have Nickelodeon as a kid?
I used to have Nickelodeon. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Direct TV as a child, Sebastian. Oh yeah, and. It was nice to see some of those callbacks, but I'm also watching this with you, and I'm thinking, they're stretching it to make this joke, and I know that you are not amused.
I was not amused by almost anything in this movie.
No. Now,
I enjoyed Keenan a bit. Kel's ruined the movie for me.
No.
Because he was just so stupid. It was unbearable.
It was. Now, the catchphrase of this movie... welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
I think you forgot a key part. He just was constantly making noises.
Yeah. How many times do you think that catchphrase was said? It was surprisingly less than I thought.
It wasn't that many, but did you count?
Did you take a tally? I was ready to tally up like 20. But
I'd say it was maybe 8.
No, not even. It was 6, maybe 7. I don't know if I'm going to count the dream sequence one where he woke up.
For sure. Yeah. He cut himself off, but he said almost the entire thing. Yeah. 7. Okay. So 7, that's not that bad.
No, not that bad.
Basically one per 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. But that is pretty much the whole sketch in, the old, back in the 90s was different customers coming up to Kel and saying...
And him being an idiot.
Yeah.
And saying that line. And then Keenan, maybe saving the day, kind of?
I don't even think Keenan was in these. I think this was just a Kel thing. And,
oh, really?
And it was basically just different customers coming up, and they would do this whole bit where it's they had some of those jokes in here. It's I ordered a burger with nothing on it. And it's I gave you nothing. Yeah, and it was but I expected a patty. A patty's something.
Yeah.
And it just... You knew what it was going to be before it happened. And you didn't care to.
There was
see it
no
play
twist when it played out. There's no changing of your expectations during it. It's